On this week's Woman to Watch, we interview Una Gabie, founder and partner of local law firm Touchstone Law Group.
Here with Woman to Watch, and I was going to ask you first, why do you think that we're here? Why do you think that women across the Okanagan want to talk to you and want to learn about your story?
Honestly, I was actually kind of surprised when I got the email from Stephanie about the nomination. There are a ton of amazing businesswomen in this community, a ton of amazing women in the not-for-profit world in this community. So it was somewhat surprising to me, but obviously I'm very honored that I got that email and honored to be here speaking with you guys, and hopefully just sharing a little bit of my story helps other people who are thinking about maybe going down a similar path to what I've done.
So, talking about your path, what would you say is some of the really big accomplishments that you've managed to achieve that have put you in the position you're currently in?
Accomplishments. Well, I have a couple of university degrees, which you actually need to be a lawyer. So that's probably one of them. Law school's a really incredible process. You learn a ton of information while you're there, but I always say most importantly, you learn how to think. So I think that law degree is a big accomplishment. No matter what you do with it, it's a lot of hard work. So that part is one of the things I'm probably most proud of. Followed my big brother who went to law school, so it was kind of neat to be the second one in our family to do it. And then probably the other biggest accomplishment would just be what we've done with starting our own firm and the type of environment that we're building, the culture we're building, and the fabulous team that's come together as Touchstone Law Group.
Yeah. If you could kind of summarize the culture or the values that Touchstone Law Group holds, what would they be?
Our firm has really focused on teamwork. From day one, it's all about building a team where everybody will pitch in and do what they need to do to make things happen. Not just to get the work done, but to get the work done as well as we can and give the client as good of an experience as we possibly can. But a big part of it for us is really having fun when you're there. We have anywhere between 10 and 14 people in the office. We all spend a lot of time there. We all work very hard. And if you can make an enjoyable environment that people like coming to work and like what they're doing, it's a big sign of success for us. So that's really been the focus on where we've been trying to build a firm. And it's been very cool to watch where we've got to with it. I think we're doing a good job. There's always room for improvement, but we're pretty proud of what we got so far.
Yeah. So what was that moment that you realized that you wanted to be a lawyer?
That's a tough question. I don't know if there really was one. I did an undergraduate degree focusing in criminology, and I don't know if there was ever a point in my educational career where I thought I wanted to be a criminal lawyer. I've probably stayed as far away from that as I can as a lawyer. But partway through my undergraduate degree, my older brother had just recently started law school, and being the younger competitive sister, I said, well, if Paul can do it, so can I. And didn't really have a lot of options of what to do with my degree. There would have been social work and policing and that sort of thing out there, but law was just one that kind of interested me, and I don't know if I really went into it planning to be a lawyer, but obviously that's what came out of it. But just really taking the opportunity to enjoy the experience and learn what you could from it.
So you say that before your brother became a lawyer and then you became a lawyer. Was there anything unique about your experience because you were a woman compared to your brother's experience?
It's interesting, we've never really talked about that a lot, at least my brother and I haven't, but I do tend to have a lot of interaction with female lawyers, both new female students coming into the practice, just female lawyers that I'm involved with in our community. And I don't know if there's a lot of difference as far as the process goes. My business partner, Jeanette, has a 18-month-old. So I often witness the challenges that come of trying to manage the balancing between having a family and having a career as demanding as ours is. So I suspect that's one challenge that a lot of female lawyers face. I know a lot of women lawyers tend to leave the profession, which is too bad. I think women bring a bit of a unique perspective to law, but I suspect part of it is that challenge of trying to balance the demands between the work and the family piece.
So you don't have children, but you do have two dogs. So you probably get some of that sacrifice that needs to be made because of how demanding your career is, right?
Yes, to a certain degree. I'm very fortunate that I have a very supportive husband who also is a lawyer and retired a couple years ago. But for me, going into the experience I'm having, particularly with starting a new firm, I'm lucky that he's been through a lot of it and supports it and is willing to stand behind me while I have to struggle through some of those balancing acts that come with the opportunities.
So what would you tell aspiring young women who are interested in following your footsteps?
I think probably the most important piece of advice I would give is that there are a lot of different ways to be a lawyer. There's big firms, there's small firms, there's big cities, small cities, private practice, in-house practice. There's really a lot of different opportunities, and I think for each person, male or female, it's really just finding a way that career can work for you. There's things you can tweak and change about your own practice to make things work that fit into your life, but I think it's just understanding that there is some flexibility. Yeah, sometimes it means giving up something. Maybe you're not at a big downtown Vancouver law firm, but you have a position where you can make those accommodations to fit the other things that are important in your life. So I think it's just that.